This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Humanity, look how far you've fallen. Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today is the one, the only Purple Valkyrie here for the women of the fandom. How are you doing, Purple Valkyrie?
Doing well, thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, and good morning, everyone out there. Lady Miss, the Guardian of the Void, is here. Humor and Waffles. Chris Persia, the Wrench of Wrenches, and Mark, the Infinitely Tired, make up the Bash Brother Wrenches. Good morning, Psychodorf 9. Good morning, Pod Racing Palpatine, Eric O'Sullivan. Good morning, Adega Outlaw, the Doctor of Disaster and Destruction, the Jester of Sin, Teresa Pearson. Good morning, Teresa. Gun Bunny. Good morning, Gun Bunny. Keely Chow. Roll Tide, Keely. Roll Tide. James Andrew Morrison is here along with Mary's Game Room. Kashik Queen. Good morning, Kashik Queen. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. Oh, shit, I can't find it. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. There it is. Look at that. Isn't that so sweet?
I love that picture.
Sweet? Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Badass. Good morning, Larry. Larry's here. Good morning, Larry. Oh, everybody. So thank you so very much for coming in and hanging out with us. And she says, hey, Purple Valkyrie.
Hey, gorgeous.
Martha Astor, good morning. We are seeing a downpour of purple rain. Martin Orlando, good morning, guys. Good morning. Lord Thoth, good morning. How are you doing? How are you all doing? So we have Purple Valkyrie on for Women of the Fandom. You're going to have to tell us right off the bat what got you here. What brought Purple Valkyrie to the doorstep of Valhalla, and how have you amassed 1,200 subscribers and become a successful content creator?
Thank you. Wow, it all goes all the way back. I think pretty much like everybody here, we've always been fans of something. I mean, growing up, we've always been either fans of sci-fi, we've been fans of fantasy, Star Trek, Star Wars. But for me, it goes all the way back to watching Star Trek with my mom, because she was a big Trekkie. So that was my first kind of jump into being part of a big fandom and, finding something that I loved. Still love it, still watch it. But I kind of gravitated more growing up towards fantasy. rather than sci-fi. It's only now later on in life that I'm kind of swinging back to sci-fi.
There is a lot of purple in chat this morning. There is a lot of purple in chat this morning.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Loving
you.
it. So, did you you've been a Trekkie? Did you get to go to conventions and all that
I
fun
did.
stuff?
I did. Yeah, I mean, back when conventions were a thing, absolutely. Yeah, I've been to Star Trek conventions. I've been to Discworld conventions. I've been to the big kind of Comic-Con conventions. The one in London that they used to have, the twice a year one, that was probably the biggest one that they did, which was always a lot of fun. Even I'm not much of an autograph hunter, I've got to admit, but I always loved kind of going around and picking up little bits of memorabilia and just being there with other fans and being able to geek out. That was always what I enjoyed the most, being there. And I'd love to go to things like Dragon Con. I'd love to go to one of the big Comic Cons in America as well. That's on my bucket list.
Colin P. Smith, there's quite a lot of crossover between fantasy and sci-fi. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Always has been.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there was a movie, what was it, Kroll, that had a lot of fantasy sci-fi crossover. That was like a Lord of the
Yes.
Rings type adventure, but had space and
Yes,
travel.
with the glaive.
With the glaive. You must get the glaive. You are
People argue whether that's sci-fi or fantasy. I think it sits nicely just in the middle.
Yes, no, I agree. I absolutely agree. And Larry, a lot of purple.
Oh,
A lot of purple out there. Mark Dampingly Tired. A lot of purple.
Thank you, guys. We've got a great crowd this morning.
We do. Indeed, we do. V-Star, good morning, V-Star. Good morning, brightest day. MB Geek, let's talk. Liam Neeson before he was a man with a special... Yes. Oh, yes. I am a man with a very special set of skills. You will let my daughter go or I will kill you, all of you. Yes.
But kind of carrying on from that, you said, how did I kind of end up here in Valhalla? So a couple of years ago, when YouTube was kind of getting some traction, I started following a lot of people, same as a lot of people here. It was Geeks and Gamers, it was Gary, Bolstrek, those kind of people, and just kind of watching them made me curious as to whether I could do it, or whether I'd be able to have a voice. Whether people would want to hear anything that Purple Valkyrie would want to say.
That's funny because I know I was like, who the hell would ever want to listen to me? Who the hell's ever listening? Nobody wants my opinion. Nobody wants my opinion. No one wants to hear from me, right? Nobody.
Well, we know that's not the case.
Did you feel kind of like that, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think, and obviously I have to thank you, because the first live stream I think I ever did, where I actually spoke on a stream, was one of your morning shows, if I remember correctly.
Really? Really? That's so amazing. I would have expect that you would have done something before this.
No, I was always active in the chat, talking back and forth and sending messages, but I was never actually on a panel or anything like that before Valhalla and Mornings of Mischief. And then obviously Rise and Shine kind of came out of that.
Daga's got a purple umbrella with rain on it. That's I didn't even know they had that.
Thank you, Daga.
Had that. Larry making it rain. So if you had to pick like one, you couldn't pick anything else. Anything else at all, what would you pick?
As in fandom?
Yeah, fandom wise, like, if you had to pick Star Wars or Star Trek or something, one IP out of all of them, what would you pick?
Oh, putting me on the spot, Loki. See, usually, as bigger as a Star Trek fan I am, I would say Star Trek, but I have an even bigger love, which is Discworld. So if we're going to pick just one IP, that's where I would gravitate towards. Been a fan of Terry Pratchett for, more years than I care to remember. Been reading the books for 25, 26 years. It's just something that I grew up with, and it's always been my go-to. If I'm feeling down, I can pick up a Discworld book and read a little bit, and it makes me feel better.
Oh, that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. I know that they have come out with some movies and a series, and then they just recently, they didn't, but someone that apparently liked Terry Pratchett's work but didn't, decided, yeah, we're going to make this show and we're going to change all this stuff. And,
Yes, Discworld in name only, as I like to think of it. Yes, The Watch, which was kind of ironic because nobody watched it. So
yeah, it was there, and then it was just like, what show? What show? I haven't heard anything about it. Anything about it. Nobody's heard anything about it.
Nope.
I wonder why.
Came and went. It's almost as though, not respecting the IP and, insulting the fans and insulting the original creator isn't good business practice. It's amazing, really.
You would think they would have learned their lesson by now, and apparently they haven't.
No. But as we've said before, close your wallets. If you don't like what's being made, you don't have to boycott it. You can just, turn your back on it. It doesn't mean you have to, shine a light on it. You don't have to review it. You don't have to keep talking about it. It all fades into obscurity.
So the chat may not know this, but I know this because, it's me. You happen to be a gamer too.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of you might not know that. She just happens to co-host with me on Wednesdays on my game streams. How'd you get into that?
That, again, it was always when I was little. I know, crazy. I had trouble making friends. So playing games was kind of a gateway into talking to other people. You get to talk to people online. You get to kind of work with people. Even though I do like to play solo a lot of the time, that was kind of my breaking the ice with people, jumping in and getting more involved. And it just kind of blossomed there. But the first system I ever had, I think, was the Master System. I think it was called the is it the Sega Genesis?
Yes,
Over with you guys.
Sega Genesis in the US.
Never understood why they changed the name, but it was the Master System over here. And then it was things like the Mega Drive. I had the GameCube, and then it was on to PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, and now it's PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. But the only thing I didn't play, but because I could never really afford one, was PC gaming. So that's where I fall down.
Sega CD. I actually had one.
Did you?
Don't tell anybody because they all want to come over to your house and play it. Loki's got the Sega CD. We'll all go over to his house and play it. I even had that one game that was like banned that you couldn't get anywhere else. It was like a home invasion game. I can't remember.
Oh, I remember that. Yes.
Someone out there
probably
remembers it more than I. And Roger H with a $2 Canadian super sticker, and it is a thumbs up. Thank you so very much, Roger H, for that. And we're gonna hit you with $1, brother. Skol!
Oh!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
And Darth Haster knows the name of the game. It's called Night Trap.
Nice.
And Project Storytime. Sega does what Nintendo don't. They do. I had Mortal Kombat 2 on Sega CD. I had Mortal Kombat on the Sega. I actually had it on the Super Nintendo too, which was really weird because I remember getting it on the Super Nintendo and being like, "What the hell?" And because no fatalities. It
Yeah, they censored the game.
This does what Nintendo don't. Yeah. Yeah. Sega, the Sega Genesis or Master System was so weird for me because I had the 32X, which was copper that you put on top of the Sega, right? And then I had the Sega CD, which went on the bottom of the Sega. It was so weird. It was so weird that you had add-ons for that. And Big Geek, let's talk with a $5 super chat. Newbies, I don't feel sci-fi and fantasy represent me. Valhalla, get your face out of your phone when you were watching the damn show. Oh, hell yeah, Jesse, and I know what you want to see, brother. Here you go. Score!
Let's go!
Spartans! What is your profession?
Darthaster, you forgot the power glove.
Oh, I remember the power glove. They were painful.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass to use it too. It didn't work right. It did not work right. Larry with the $2 super chat. Purple Valkyrie is the nicest person around. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Larry. Love you too.
And I don't have any like real nice ones. So we'll burn it down with Dragon Power. Score!
Oh!
Larry gives a little thumbs up with a heart. Thank you so much, guys. You guys keep the fires burning bright in Valhalla. So you gamed on the Genesis. Evolved, I'm sure, over the years and got, did you get a Saturn or
didn't get a Saturn. Did get a GameCube, and which I loved. But then there was like a gap, and then I jumped onto the next. Well, at the time it was the next gen console, so it was the PlayStations and that sort of thing. And for the longest time, I was a huge fan of PlayStation, and then I sort of moved on to Xbox, and now I've swung back around to PlayStation.
PlayStation again. They always do that. They always do that. PlayStation will get a fur up its backside and be like, we're better than everyone else, and they get their teeth kicked in, kind of like with The Last of Us 2. I can't. There were so many different systems. I was the only one who had a Neo Geo back in the day.
Oh my God.
Busted my ass for that. That was insane because our $500. Yes, it's $500, and I'm buying one. I had my own money back then. That was fun. Trying to wrestle that out of the bank with my parental units keeping an eye on me. PlayStation. Yeah, you've got, of course, one of your favorite game series, which is what we'll move on to next. Legacy of Kain.
Yes, absolutely. And again, another, I suppose you could call it an obsession. I don't know what it was about this particular series, but it just grabbed me.
It was about vampires.
It was about vampires. Funny that. I'm seeing a connection here. But at the time, it was one of those games that it was just so well written. It was so well acted. It's almost Shakespearean in some of the dialogue that they give these characters. And at the time, especially with Soul Reaver, it really pushed the limits of what the consoles could do.
James Andrew Morrison, it was Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy IX was the last one on PS1. Trust me, I know. I have them all still. I have all the Final Fantasy games that came out in America, and I've got some ones that just came out in Japan that never made their way to America until much, much later.
Nice. And Roger H has Blood Omen or Soul Reaver, all of them. I have all of them. I started actually with Blood Omen. That was my first introduction to the series, and then only later on did I find out that Soul Reaver was a kind of non-direct sequel to that game with a new antagonist, and then they kind of decided that okay, we're going to wrap these characters up in the same story, and that's when it really got good. But yeah, Cain was always my favorite character.
Gratitude to Valhalla. Eric O'Sullivan says with a $15 super chat, enjoying my coffee and conversation on my personal Saturday. Love Purple Valkyrie, Freddie Glove. That's Victor Von Doom. Slant means skull in Gaelic. Thank you to all.
That one. Yep. If I can hold it up. It doesn't fit me because it's a guy's glove, but it is signed. Love that thing.
Oh, man. That is so cool. Thank you so very much, Eric O'Sullivan. And since you said gratitude to Valhalla, we'll give you some Vikings this morning, brother. Skull! And Zappo says, damn, now I want to replay the whole series. Thanks.
If I ever... sorry, honey.
Oh, no, go ahead.
And so if I ever do start the gaming stream, I think that's one of the games I'm going to start with, Soul Reaver, and do a playthrough.
Oh, that would be cool. You can get those on... you can get those on GOG. There's a couple different places you can get them. Just be careful on the PC because current day controllers do not seem to want to work. But you can always get the controller emulator stuff, and you just got to tinker with it. It's a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt. So from Legacy of Kain to obviously you like different game. Is there another game series you really like?
I always enjoyed things like I was a big player of Destiny for a long time until it kind of went. I've always loved the Gears of War games. Those were a big favourite. I'm going to be really girly and say I've always loved Spyro games. I just thought they were
the
cute.
little dragon, Spyro, the little dragon.
Purple dragon. I thought it was cute and it was a good platformer game. But there isn't one kind of genre of game that I kind of gravitate towards. I will jump from kind of game to game. And even ones that are a little bit more obscure, like Ico. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
Yeah, love that game. What was the other one that I really loved that's kind of obscure now? Primal. I bet you remember that one as well.
Yes, Primal, yeah, with the dinosaurs. Yeah, they were almost like claymation dinosaurs. You even had one that peed acid, melted. But, you had to block that up. What's tonight's game? Gun Bunny asked. We are going to play Mortal Kombat. We'll be playing Mortal Kombat for a couple hours.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that. I always have fun with the game streams.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the chat want to thank you for the introducing volleyball to them, because I think that was a big hit.
Oh, yes. We will be making our way back to Beach Babes and Boobs. Eventually. Pat asked, PS1 was my jam. Then I got an Xbox. Now I'm Xbox guy 100%. Plus, I'm rooting for Bill Gates to win for top overlord over all of us. Loki. The only issue I have with Xbox, Pat S, is I can't stream it. I can capture card it, but they have no way to stream from their system. I can stream straight from my PS4. If If I could stream straight from my Xbox One X, I would not have an issue, but I can't.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be upgrading to a PS5 at some point in the future, Pat S.
Nice. Robert's, yeah.
Mortal Kombat beach volleyball? Rob Pearson. Possibly. Possibly.
An interesting combination.
Volleyball, I thought it was application of applied physics in a real world scenario. Yes. The bouncing is interesting.
Yes.
Indeed it is.
Yes, they really, really kind of nailed that. They went into detail, they went above and beyond. So thank you for that one.
So what else? What else can you tell us about Purple Valkyrie that we don't already know?
Well, I can go into a little bit of detail about the channel, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So as you guys know, it's Rise and Shine. As of now, we've had a little bit of a, I suppose you could call it a cosmetic makeover. So it's now Rise and Shine with Purple Valkyrie. So I'm kind of looking forward to bringing you guys more content. I've got a lot of ideas coming, but I'd always love to hear from people. If there's anything that you think we haven't covered, I'd love to kind of hear it. And I definitely would like to get more people on as guests. That's kind of my main thing that I'd like to do, kind of taking a leaf out of Loki's book. Sorry, boss. I'm going to steal that from you.
James Andrew Morrison. Yeah, Microsoft shot themselves in the foot when they canceled Mixer. Yes, they did. Pat Steven Skull with $2 Canadian super chat. She has a caring heart and a Dr. Doom statue. Oh my.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you so very much, Pat Steven, for that $2 super chat. Skull!
Oh!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
So, we've talked about gaming. We've talked about IPs. We've talked about your channel a little bit. What? I know where you are in the community, and the community knows where you are in the community. But what is your goal as a content creator? Like, what is like your ambition, your goal? What drives you?
Mainly my ambition, especially with the channel now, I obviously want to grow, but what I want to do most of all is to give people good content. I want to make a channel that people enjoy, that they want to come back to, that they feel like they have somewhere positive to be. You know, I will occasionally rant and rave about things, but I mainly try to put a positive spin on things, especially now. You know, there's a lot of things that we can kind of tear apart. There's a lot of things that are kind of going wrong with IPs that we love and have been for the past, you know, at least 5 years. So it is hard to find a positive spin on things, but that's where we kind of have to cast about a little bit wider and kind of look at, you know, okay, so we've always loved Star Wars, we've always loved Star Trek. There is so much content that we haven't kind of scratched the surface of, you know. I've recently got into the EU books on Star Wars, and
Really?
fallen down a rabbit hole with them. I had no idea that these stories were so good.
Oh yeah. I read everything leading up to the Thrawn trilogy, Heir to the Empire. And, that cemented. I was kind of like, oh, cool. It's a story about this. Okay, this one's a story about this. They weren't really super fluid in the beginning. You just kind of had your book about this adventure or that. But then a guy named Timothy Zahn started writing about Thrawn and Mara Jade. And it just continued.
Mm-hmm.
And the stories all came together. And it wasn't just one book about one story anymore. It was about all these books that all connected and continued to connect. And it was, you had the Jedi Academy trilogy with Admiral Dala. Who can forget them going into the maw around Kessel and finding these 4 Star Destroyers that Tarkin had placed to protect the skeletal remains of the prototype Death Star. Do you remember at the end of Revenge of the Sith, that skeletal? Okay, that gets dragged to the maw. Vader guides a Star Destroyer through the maw, towing this skeletal remains of the Death Star, and Tarkin sets up 4 Star Destroyers to defend it, and has a think tank on this asteroid base. And it's just like, oh my God, there's so many stories and so much stuff in the EU that you can't blame people for being upset. I remember someone saying, "What's the big deal? They're just books," and I'm like, "No, you don't understand. These were decades of books that all connected, that all carried a story, that all were woven and interconnected. It was horrible when we lost those."
It was, and these books. I think people forget that there was a big, gap of time when there was just no Star Wars content, and these books got the fans, through that, I suppose you could call, dry patch until the prequels came out. But for them to say that there's no backstory, there's nothing that we can draw from, and for them to kind of turn around now and start cherry picking, shall we say, from the EU, it's like, really.
And Mark the Infinitely Tired, Jedi Academy trilogy wasn't that great to me. It had some great concepts, though. Kevin J. Anderson neutered all of Zahn's work. You have to understand that back then, this was before everyone was really working together. So it was like, well, yes, you can use this character, but you can't really use them because they belong to this writer. So at the time, it was like, well, yeah, I can have Mara Jade in my book, but she can't really be the center of anything, because that is, so you have to be very careful. You were using another writer's character. It wasn't until later, when they really expanded the EU with a whole bunch of writers working on like a season of content, that they were like, yeah, just go nuts. Just go nuts. So it was like writers didn't even know what they could use. And they were constantly asking for, well, can I use this character? Can I use this character? Because they weren't their characters.
Yeah.
Zahn created Mara Jade. Zahn created Grand Admiral Thrawn. Zahn created this big story, and you had to be careful what you were using out of those stories, because you didn't want to step on anybody's toes.
Yes, yeah. And so when you're using other people's characters, you have to be obviously very, very careful. You have to be true to whatever the original author set these characters to be. You can't take them off in some completely 180 character arc.
And yes, Cornhorn and I Jedi was absolutely badass. There was a comment. I'm trying. There we go. Colin P. Smith. It was the same for Star Trek and Doctor Who novels. It kept us going during the drought years, and we supported it. That was the thing. We supported it, and we spread the word. I remember telling a friend, "Well, you haven't read the EU books? What do you mean the EU books? There's this giant plethora of Star Wars stories. You don't know about? No. Yeah, go out and get them now. Go. I'll wait. You come back. Go buy them. I'll wait."
Yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself that it took so long for me to kind of dive into these books. But I'm loving them. Timothy Zahn is a fantastic author. I'm very, very impressed, and the characters that he's created, I love them, especially Mara Jade.
Yeah. Mara was one of the best parts of the EU. I'm not going to ruin anything. I was 11 years old when the Atari coin-op came out. Finding the sit-down version was like finding an actual X-Wing to be. Yeah, Eric O'Sullivan. Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely with the bench. God, I love that bench. A pink Star Destroyer, yes. I know. There is a pink Star Destroyer out there. I know. A mercenary Star Destroyer, but yeah. Purple has such a relatable personality. I'd watch her interviewing other content creators any day. Trinoculus P.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Trinoculus P.
Thank you so
That's really
much
sweet. Thank you.
for that $5 super chat, brother. And this is just for you, Trinoculus P. Score!
Go!
I don't want to like slide down a Star Wars rabbit hole because that's not what this is about this morning. But I'd like to ask you one question. Project Storytime brings this up. Kyle Katarn stole the Death Star plans. No one else. Okay, so there's a woman in Dark Forces. She's in Dark Forces, Dark Forces 2. She's in Jedi Knight and Jedi Academy. And her name is Jen Orris. And then we get Jan Orso. Jen Orso.
Yes. Jen Orso.
Okay, but they leave Kyle Katarn out. What did you think about them taking characters and like just twisting them just enough to just make them a little different to suit their needs, and then leaving out basically any testosterone?
Yes, I think that was a very underhand thing to do. I mean, at the time, I actually really enjoyed Rogue One. I thought of all the Disney films, it's definitely the best. But the character, of Jyn Erso, she is very flat. I found, that particular character could have been male or female, and it wouldn't have really affected the overall story. But to find out later on that she's pretty much been just lifted from an EU novel, and just, it's that 25% different that we keep hearing about, just twist it that little bit. So it's not exactly the same, and we can kind of get away from it, even though they didn't want anything to do with what's gone before. I think that was a very underhand way to go about it. But Vader was awesome in it.
Darth Vader was a yes. Yes. And let's talk with $2 super chat. Purple Valkyrie, I will be your EU Huckleberry. EU is my thing.
Oh, I will probably have to go to you then, Jesse, for recommendations.
Thank you so very much, Jesse, for that $2 super chat, brother. Score!
Oh!
Long live the fighters!
So what I was trying to find is one of my Star Trek novels. I can't find it at the moment, but
give us like a little pan of what you've got there, like a little pan and scan view of what you've got there.
I can. It might make you guys feel a little bit seasick though, because I'm gonna have to pick the camera up, because everyone thinks that this bookcase is like 10 feet behind me. It's not. It's literally right behind me. If I lean backwards, I can lean my head against the box. So it's kind of a weird perspective, but let me just pick the camera up slightly. If I move to the side, I can give you guys a little bit of that look. So, all these skulls. I like to travel, so I come out of travel books and get a little bit
closer to the camera. Victims.
And then it goes down into kind of more classic. So Michael Moorcock, big fan of, obviously George Orwell, Arthur C. Clarke, and then it comes down. Whoa!
More skulls.
More skulls, yes. And of course, Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom.
And then the two big ones. I can move that around.
I love that. I love that Batman and Joker.
these ones are very special, and this one is actually signed. If I can line it up properly.
Really?
Recognize that signature?
No. Who is that?
That is Mark Hamill.
Nice.
And then the other one, I'm gonna have to stand up for this one. That one. There's a lot of glare going on, sorry. But that one, sit down, put the camera back. Sorry guys, making you feel seasick. There we go. So the one up there is signed by Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, and Alan Bennett.
Wow. Wow.
And I'm all out of whack now. There we go. That a bit better. But
And
yeah.
Pat S asks, is that a microwave or a wood burning stove?
Which one? What microwave, guys? There's no microwave here. There's a box that contains my records. That's on the floor by my chair. Other than that, there is the cabinet which has toys in, which is that one, and then 2 big bookshelves on either side of the window, either side of the sofa, which is where my dog is currently sleeping and snoring.
Dee Dee Meyer says, Purple Sweet collection of books. Love your collect and really love the pictures and skulls. Wonderful and nice.
Thank you,
Dame
Dee.
Danger Morrison says, must not turn green with envy. Definitely not, since there is a green Doctor Doom statue.
Mm-hmm.
What is directly under that? Because that is what Pat S is talking about.
Oh, this here. Oh, okay. Do you mind if I pick the camera up again, guys?
No, I don't mind.
Try not to make you feel seasick.
You're good. You're good.
Move it slowly, okay? There we go. So, see that? So what he's standing on is just the base. That's just the base that the figure came with.
It's a glass display case.
It's a glass display case. So top shelf, you can't really see because of the glare, but that's got the Legacy of Kain toys in that I love. A little bit lower are Team Fortress. I enjoyed the game, but I love the figures even more because they were perfect replicas of the characters in the game.
Oh, that is
and
cool.
Then down below are the Eagle Mask, which you can't really see, but you might be able to see them a little bit. So lots of different DC and Marvel characters in there.
That is awesome.
Let me bring you
Purple
guys back
the
slowly.
Collector. Purple the Collector. What's your favorite part of your collection? I can see that Doctor Doom statue being up there, but what's your favorite part of your collection?
Probably it would be Doom. It's one piece that when I saw it, I had to have it, no matter how much it cost. It had to be in my collection. But I do love the glove as well, that I got signed. I love the artwork next to me. All these pieces that I've collected over the years, they all mean something. If a piece doesn't kind of speak to me or, doesn't really move me, I don't pick it up. I don't collect anything that I don't genuinely love, that I don't think reflects me. So I've got to have something to do with Doom. I've got a big figure of the Crow. Marvel. I've got Masters of the Universe. That's a big thing that I had growing up. He-Man. That was a big part of when I was little. That was probably my favourite show. I still enjoy it. I still go back and watch it. The same as Transformers. Pretty much anything from the 80s you can put on and still enjoy.
And Lady Turiel with the $5 super chat. That is great. Still setting up mine. Sorry I catch you on my way home from work in the morning. Such a great channel. Thank you so very much, Lady Toriel, for that $5 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. Skål!
Long live the fighters!
That is one hell of a collection. You have there.
Thank
So,
you.
but you never did add one thing. Like if you could only keep one thing.
Oh,
You could
one
only
thing.
keep
Oh, that would be it. Would be. I'm planning on being buried with him. You know, like a pharaoh.
Oh, I get that. I get that. I absolutely get that. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. You're like, nope, you're coming with me.
Nope.
I
No.
will
If I
drag
could,
you to the nether realm with me.
I could pick it up and run off with it, and if knock on wood, hopefully it never happens. But if there's a fire, yeah, that's probably one of the things I would be going for first.
Oh, I know that there are some sites like Big Bad Toy Store and stuff where you can see some pretty cool stuff. But I have to ask, where did you find him?
He came directly from Sideshow, so that's where I got him from. I saw it in the previews, and as soon as it became available, I just I had to do it. And it was expensive at the time, but as the years have gone on, as Sideshow tend to do, the prices just go up and up because they only ever do a limited number of these particular statues. And that one's not even the limited. There is an even more limited version.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
So there's there's one that's like it. What does it look like?
Very similar, but it has a few extra accessories. So I think it has an extra arm, but he's holding the gun rather than having the gun just on his belt. Each of them come with two different heads. So there's the more modern head, and then there's the more classic kind of Kirby-esque looking head, which is the one that I've got on.
Of course, classic.
I like the classic version better. But it was just a few more accessories. But I think that one sold out pretty quick, as they usually
I
do.
can imagine they do. Keeping track of those is like, oh, they came out with what? Yeah, oh yeah, you're a day late. You missed it.
Gone.
They all sold out. Son of a bitch. Yeah, been there, done that. Bought that T-shirt.
Yeah, and then you kind of kick yourself for sleeping on it. It's like, damn it! But next time, you live and learn.
You have to live and learn. It's one of those things where you're like, man, I really want it. Should I get it? Let me think about it, and it's gone. You don't have a chance after that. Besides trying to chase it down on eBay or something when someone doesn't want one, and even then, it's like, are you going to get lucky enough to find it when someone doesn't want one?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and then obviously you've got to factor in what's the condition. Does it come with the original box and that sort of thing? And at least for me, shipping is a big issue as well. So if I'm looking for something and it's in Australia or it's in the US, then shipping can almost be the same cost as the thing itself.
Yes,
and that's not even including import charges.
No, absolutely not. And they can get you for all kinds of stuff. So you're not only are you paying shipping, not only you're paying taxes, and you're paying for the actual item, and you're basically could get triple charged for something you just wanted to put on your shelf. So a little loud about it.
Want something nice, something that I love.
You order one Voltron set from Japan, and customs tries to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, those guys in customs, I hope they're listening right now, bastards.
And then they open your boxes, and you can tell they've had a rifle through. It's like, you've resealed this. I can tell.
Oh look, you resealed it. You resealed my toy. What'd you do? You pull it out and play with it? But you did. Oh look, he's got a Voltron from '89. Yeah, I do. Damn it.
Get it out and just kind of change it.
It says "Go Lion" because they came from Japan. So what have you got coming up? Do you have anything coming up you want to tell us about? I know we've got a game stream tonight, but what else do you got coming up?
I've got a show in a little bit, so talking comics today, but not talking Marvel or DC. I'm talking kind of comics like Vertigo comics, Image comics, things like Chew, Northman, Y, The Last Man, kind of those sort of ones, and kind of going to give recommendations and see if the chat has any recommendations that they love to read as well. So that should be pretty fun. Looking forward to that.
Cool.
And then Friday, I've actually got a kind of silly show planned. So I've been lucky enough to have been sent a box of American kind of snack food. So what I'm going to do is like a taste test on camera.
Ooh.
Kind of give you.
Ooh. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Okay, I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that. So that's Friday?
That will be Friday. Yep, absolutely.
Nice. I want to see that. Purple tries American goodies.
I'm looking forward to it. But some of it looks kind of obscure, so I'm really kind of looking forward to tasting some of these goodies that have been sent.
Heck yeah. And of course, we've got a movie stream this weekend. We've got a movie stream on Sunday. Going to be a bunch of us hanging out, watching 300.
Nice. Love 300. It's such a good film. And again, one based on a comic book. Can't go wrong.
Based on it. Yeah. That graphic novel was like, damn, love it.
So I have it on my shelf right now.
Nice.
I think I've shown off.
Purple's got all the cool shit. Show us.
I think I've shown off the comic book bookshelf before. Let's take a walk, guys.
Before we get out of here, show us your comic book set.
I'm gonna tangle up my camera, but there we go. Can you guys see that?
Oh,
Might have to shout a little bit because I'm away from the camera, but
that is epic.
But yeah, lots and lots of cool stuff to go through. Hand that down a little bit, and yeah, there's 300.
Epic. That is epic.
Lots of cool stuff. Since we're there, and I'm standing up, there's a closer look at Doom.
That is so cool.
The classic face. So, move really slowly because I'm going to give people motion sickness moving this camera around. So sorry, guys.
Padre Palpatine says, not the first time I've sat watching a bunch of oiled up, nearly naked men. You did build the Death Star, but that's another story. Except I think they were smelling walking carpets named Wookiees. Wookiee, if you're out there, brother, I love you. You're not smelling. It's just the ones that built the Death Star. All right. Thank you so very much for being here this morning. Thank you so very much for hanging out and talking with us.
Well, thank you. And guys, let me just say a huge thank you to Loki, because if it hadn't been for his encouragement, it would not be a rise and shine. He said, as he has said to lots of other people, if you want to do this, just do it. You don't need a fancy camera. You don't need a fancy microphone. You can do it on your phone. If you think that you have a voice, then stand up and use it. And if I can do it, anybody can do it, I promise. But as we've said before, we are very, very lucky to get to do this, to get to be YouTubers, to get to talk to you guys every day. And I'm very, very grateful for that.
Well, it's what we do. Purple. It is what we do. So it wasn't me, it was you. You had it in you. You did it. I just said you could.
Yes.
I just said, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, everybody can do it. Just stand up and do it. Get on your microphone. Be heard. That's what we do. Why? Because people don't want us to be heard. People want us to be silent. People want to call us trolls and names and act like we're the problem when that's not the way it is.
No. People will do anything they can to silence you. They will talk behind your back. They will whisper things, when they think that you can't hear them. But you just brush that off. You stand up. You raise your head. And you give your opinions on things.
That's right.
That's
You don't take
the
any
best
shit.
advice I can give. Exactly. Yes.
You don't take any shit. Everyone, I hope you have a great day today. Don't forget that Purple Valkyrie is going live on Rise and Shine with Purple Valkyrie in just a little over an hour. I hope you all have a great Wednesday. We will see you all back here at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for the game stream. Everyone have a great day, and we will catch you guys later.
Thank you, guys. And thank you, Loki.
Thank you, Purple.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification